Dave, and ever-present nearly-ish, Josh Cool. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, that's what they say about me in the season stats. He's been, turning out on the pitch. Oh, he's been ever-present-ish. Kind of. He missed something, and I'll be missing some coming forward as I'm away in Bonnie, Scotland.
Bonnie, Scotland, yeah. Whereabouts? Glasgow, Edinburgh. That's about all my knowledge. Neither?
I mean, we've got loads of geography. We spoke about this the other week. Football knowledge.
Yeah.
And geography knowledge. I mean, we've got Falkirk, St Mirren,
Alloa.
Aberdeen, Inverness, Alloa.
Okay, so
isn't Gretna because they had a decent FA Cup run or are they're either just Scottish or just English? They're like the cusp, aren't they?
Gretna's just Scottish, I think. Yeah.
Scottish, yeah. But no, I'm going to none of those. Glen Eagles.
Glen Eagles.
Yeah.
You gonna play some golf?
No, I could do if they have a kind of hiring club option. I doubt they do. But yeah, I'm not taking my clubs up there. But I might have a little walk around. And,
nice.
Yeah.
First question's in already, Josh. Love the shirt. Is Zidane on the back? Give us a twirl. There it is. Zizou on the back. It is a lovely shirt.
Zizou. When buying this shirt, there's the option to get anyone on the back. So I looked through the
Parrot.
Parrot 14 was it?
Yeah.
Other names on other name or number on the back, and I was like, you know what? It'd be a bit of a silly move. I'd regret it if I got like Vincent Candela 2 or something on the back. Or do you know who I was searching for? I didn't know if he was in the squad, but I think it was Ibrahim Ba, the AC Milan forward, dyed blonde hair.
Yeah.
I remember it was my first kind of introduction to football games was ISS Pro 98, I think it was, and I got this demo out of a PlayStation magazine, and me and my cousin, I think it's Steve Timmins, you know,
yeah.
We played that demo so much, and the problem was it being a PlayStation demo. It was one half. It was a 10-minute game. It was a half. It was 5 minutes of football. So we just loaded round and round and round again. We must have played that at least 100 times, but because I think he had 9 pace in that game, he was just dead cert to start for me. Yeah, he was in there.
That's incredible. That is incredible. That shirt brings back a lot of memory. It was just when football was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like Euro 96, the World Cup 98. They're two tournaments that... absolutely brilliant stuff. Absolutely brilliant. But... yeah, so good stuff. Yes, so next week there won't be a podcast next week. Then week after I'll be doing it with a special guest, a long-time listener of the show, which will be good. And then Josh will be back in the hot seat after that as well. So because I'm not travelling anywhere, I'm going to be here every Sunday. So I'm just going to take a week off.
It's my first kind of UK break, really. I think I'm utilising Scotland. Never been to Scotland before, so yeah. Obviously, there'd normally be some summer holidays now, travelling abroad, but that's obviously not the case. So
I can remember when I went to Scotland last. I'm trying to think when I went last. I think it was with Katie. I might have gone for it was a stag do. That was it. I went to Edinburgh for a stag do last time before I came here, and I was like, what can I get to drink in Scotland when I land in the airport, which is brilliantly Scottish, but isn't really like a whiskey. Whiskies they're famous for, aren't they? I think Scotland is. Yeah, same as their whiskies. So I landed and got a vodka iron brew.
What is there? They've got this drink which is has got a heady mix of caffeine and booze. It's what is it?
It sounds incredible, but yeah, I think
it's quite popular with the homeless. In Scotland.
Is it like the strong brew something?
Buckfast.
Buckfast. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I had heard about something like that.
Certain parts of Scotland, Buckfast is associated with drinkers who are prone to committing antisocial behaviour when drunk, especially drinkers under 18 years old. Drink has a very high caffeine content, with each 750ml bottle containing the equivalent of 8 cans of Coke.
Oh my word!
So it comes like a bottle of wine, but has effectively like just a mix of that's gonna. You might be drunk, but you're gonna be alert. You're gonna be wanting to do stuff.
You're gonna be on it, yeah. But right, we're not here to talk about Scotland and Budvar. No, that's quite a nice lager. We're here to talk about football, Josh. So, I mean, let's delve in. What's caught your eye? Well, no, I'm going to start off. Winning Serie A isn't enough to keep you in a job if you're a Juventus manager.
And do you know what? I agree.
Well, what else can you do? They're never going to be. They're not favourites to win the Champions League.
Favourites, but
they should have beaten Lyon.
Because what they've won it for the last 7 years. It shows anyone can do it, and Sarri obviously did do it just over a week ago, and it's not really been like a real kind of a great relationship, is it, with Sarri and Juventus?
No, he got off to a very bad start with the whole Ronaldo thing because Ronaldo they obviously were playing him up front under oh my word, who was there before? Allegri, yeah. They were playing him right up through the middle, and then I think Sarri moved him back out to the left and played off the left, and then there was loads of issues with Dybala as well. It's very similar to what happened at Chelsea. Like, no one really seemed to get on with what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I think he strikes me as the kind of in the Andre Villas-Boas mould of a manager. Obviously, very, very capable, very astute, but it's that other side, and he's not a typical football person, sorry. And I think it's that kind of that bond with the players that seems to kind of go missing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I think I can't see Juventus ever winning the Champions League if they chop and change manager every season.
No, they had Allegri for a long while, didn't they? And
yeah, but as you said, you're going to come in and win the league. But if winning the league isn't enough, how can you prove you're going to build that team to win the Champions League? That's the problem.
But the thing with me, so obviously we had the heady heights of the Pochettino and Zidane rumours, which lasted about 20 minutes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Peddled by myself. Like, yeah, Pochettino's in. Like, oh my. And even later on, some WhatsApp groups like, well, my money's on. And it's like, Josh, Pirlo's been confirmed. I was like, what? What do you mean? Literally 10 minutes ago, Sarri was sacked, and they're not going to appoint Pirlo, who's been under 23s manager for 10 days, are they? Like, that'd be silly. Nope, they have done. And the bit I love is I remember reading a quote from Pirlo last week. Let me read it to you. Everyone would love to imitate Guardiola or Zidane's career, but you have to earn it. I've had offers from Serie A and Premier League, but I thought this was the right path to start my coaching career. Shut that out the window, mate. That was like a week ago before he got his job. It's like, well, you might have thought it's the right path, so obviously this isn't the right path, but you're in it now.
Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But
it's for cheap option though, isn't it? Like, Sarri is rumoured to cost them like 20 million to get rid of, and here's where I'm going to play. Is going to, my managerial guessing game goes again. Pep Guardiola's contract's up in a year. Pirlo, obviously, I think there's a stopgap for a year, and they're going to go all guns blazing with Pep Guardiola.
Really? Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I had not thought about that.
I don't know, but it's a very AC Milan type appointment. Is Pirlo? I mean, obviously Milan had like Seedorf and Pippo Inzaghi. I think Brocchi all were kind of like maybe done a little bit of. I mean, I think Seedorf was probably still playing when he managed. He was that kind of raw, but
it's just following trend though, isn't it? Clubs going for ex-legendary sort of players.
It is funny when you look at the top. You think you look at the top clubs around. I mean, the top managers. They don't always sync up, do they?
No.
There's often some of the top, like you'd have thought, the top 10 clubs in the world would be more likely to have the top 10 managers in the world, but often that's not the case. Barcelona, for example, always have a little rogue option, and
yeah.
I mean, look back, you wouldn't have thought Zidane's probably entering the top 10 managers because of his ridiculously successful first 4 years as coach, but when appointed, you'd be like, that's strange.
Yeah. It's just it's all very strange. I thought it was a good point to start because it's quite a lot of talking points around it. Do you think Pirlo will be a success? I mean, he's going to win the league, surely.
Yeah, but I mean, the way he's talked about football, and I'm not sure how understanding he is. He's talked about football like, morning of the World Cup finals, I play on a PlayStation, don't really feel pressure, and I mean, it's good for being a manager, but is he empathetic, sympathetic to the players' needs?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have a comment around the fitness coaches, so like it's not like pre-season or like warm up. He doesn't really. He was like, oh, it's just to keep the fitness coaches busy or something like that. It's like I just don't. I mean, he's going to look good.
Oh yeah, sure. He's going to look stunning.
Or well, you see, your managers obviously didn't take their toll. I mean, this time next year, could we see a bald Pirlo? You don't know.
No.
Stress will get to him.
I can imagine him maybe in a press conference going a bit. Oh god, my brain with names today is horrendous. Who was it? Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. That guy. Who was that in a press conference? Ex-player, central midfielder for Milan, Gattuso. Yeah. He did a press conference where obviously Gattuso's quite a fiery character anyway, but he literally just shouts. Have you not seen that clip?
I don't. I mean,
you'll have to Google it.
It was your impression which maybe threw me off the scent a little bit.
Yeah, true. Where he just literally shouts into a microphone and is like, "Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit." Well, yeah. But yeah, I think he might get a bit uncharacteristically flustered. Yeah. But I think the other problem is, isn't it? If you are a Juventus manager and you're that first manager who doesn't win the league, then you lost your job. Yeah. So
he lost his job before the end of the season, and the thing is, it wasn't a done deal this season.
No,
it wasn't all tied up, and I'd be surprised if he is a success personally. I don't know, and it's funny to look around the world now and you see Zidane, Pirlo, Lampard, Gerrard, Arteta. It's just we're getting old.
I know, we're getting so old.
I've got a player's shirt here. I've seen him play. He's now a manager and I've been a manager for years. It's like, oh god,
mate. It's the world. It's the way the world turns.
Pirlo's younger than Buffon.
Yeah, that was raised earlier, and I was chatting with Ross actually. That was made earlier. Yeah, raised earlier that he's younger than his goalkeeper. So incredible, absolutely incredible. But what else is in the news for you, then, Josh?
Well, from one job that Maurizio Sarri can't take is the Bournemouth manager's job.
He can't take it? Well, can I just say very quickly, you've got a bit of a Sarri look about you. It's the glasses. Smoke like 50 a day, get a bit haggard, and then you'd like split an image. So
that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. I've got that to fall back on. Maurizio Sarri, kind of...
Look-alike. Doppelganger, yeah. Sorry.
If I'd taken the haircut a different route in lockdown, I could have been better.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Bournemouth.
Popped up on my Twitter yesterday. Bournemouth appoint Jason Tindall as manager, and my first thought was, Eddie Howe left, and my second thought was, who's Jason Tindall?
My first thought is he's a rugby player, isn't he?
Oh. He's married to
Zara Phillips. Yeah, Zara Phillips. Yeah. So okay.
Turns out, after a very small amount of digging, literally kind of scraping the surface, he was Eddie Howe's assistant for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, right.
And he's through and through. So that points to me that Bournemouth weren't the ones to force Eddie Howe out, and Eddie Howe wanted to leave. Because otherwise you'd want a clean slate, wouldn't you?
That's how I see that, yeah. That's how I see it. And you'd also think that if Bournemouth wanted Eddie Howe out, they'd do what all clubs do and get rid of all the coaching staff. It strikes me as a surprising decision because I don't know if the Eddie Howe way is what's good for Bournemouth now, but I guess it probably would have been good enough to get them back up if he had stayed. So,
I mean, for me, there's a lot of similarities with Fulham of last year.
Okay.
So obviously Fulham twisted early and had their third manager, and Scott Parker took the helm, didn't he? But again, he was already part of the coaching staff and the cheap option. They had to offload a number of players because of struggling financially, but over beyond their means, which Bournemouth had to do as well. Already sold Ake, talked to Brooks and Wilson, and obviously Ryan Fraser's going to be going. So that's the similarity there. Obviously, the untested manager playing decent football, but for me, it's just that. I mean, I'm not sure many people probably saw Fulham getting promoted again.
I don't.
Got Parker at the helm.
Yeah, true.
We can't see Bournemouth getting. I mean, what other example? What really? I mean, there's not many examples of manager leaves, assistant manager takes over, and is a success. And I'm struggling to think of. I mean, we can't. Scott Parker wasn't assistant manager. I don't think he was just part of the coaching staff.
I don't think he was. Yeah, he was coaching staff brought in as temporary manager, wasn't he? And then
even assistant managers coming out and being managers. I mean, you've got the list is endless in Man United assistant managers who come out and had different levels of success. What you got? You got McLaren,
Carlos Cazeros,
Mourinho,
Ready Middlestein. We've got the guy who's now back as assistant manager. What's his name? Phelan. Mike Phelan, yeah.
Hey, your brain is a sieve, mate.
It's horrible today. It's been horrendous. That's about it that I can think of for assistant manager.
Yeah, but it's I mean, we've obviously had Paul Clement, who was obviously Ancelotti's assistant, which failed experiment. Sammy Lee, didn't Sammy Lee ever?
Sammy Lee did go. He got a manager. Arteta, not been hugely. He's won an FA Cup, but not been hugely successful so far.
Yeah.
So.
Time will tell. Yeah, Arteta's maybe one which break the mould. I think he's. I don't know, some maybe see it. There's obviously two. Well, it's probably more, but there's two. One who see themselves as assistant managers, and maybe an opportunity presents itself, and they feel like they can't turn it down. And then there's others which are just champing at the bit, wanting to be a manager and kind of like finally get unleashed and then can do it. Which I think Arteta's that latter.
Yeah, true. Do you think Tyndall is that person?
Tyndall, I do think, the way he. Like, looking back now, there was always that guy on the Bournemouth bench. I didn't realise it was him, but he always seemed like he was very vocal on the sidelines and kind of it seemed like he behaved like a manager on the sidelines. I hadn't put the two together, but thinking back, there was that guy, but know very little about him. I just, my concern is Bournemouth. I mean, they need to get good money for their players. It's in then just replacing them. They'll be losing a lot. I mean, Ramsdale again is another one who's been mentioned. So if you lose Ramsdale, you lose your goalkeeper. You lose
your best centre back.
You lose Callum Wilson, your goal scorer. Maybe Josh King as well, but linked to Everton. You use Ryan Fraser. Wilson Fraser was the goals, wasn't it? And Brooks. Yeah, that's really hard. That's never gonna. You have to do a lot if you get back in the Premier League. But do have enough about them? I mean, Philip Billing, he left Huddersfield when they got relegated. He seems like he might want to. That kind of attitude would then think maybe he'd want to move on as well. It's a lot of money comes in, but again. Bournemouth didn't have a great record with transfers, whether that's a systemic thing in Bournemouth or if that's Eddie Howe thing. It doesn't bode well having lots of money.
Yeah, I think I think the struggle Bournemouth have as well with signings is what's the pull? What now they're not in the Premier League? What's the pull other than offering big wages?
What's the thing? Another link with Fulham, isn't it? The fact that it's a small stadium, it's a small crowd you're getting there. They're both very, very kind of small, kind of not local clubs, but kind of very kind of family type clubs, aren't they? And
but I mean, like,
it doesn't generate a lot of revenue. The gate receipts, it's not money there, and it's not it's not got a great history to it. It's not, No,
I know what you mean, but I mean, even like in Fulham though, they can say, well, you're in London.
Yeah.
You're signing for us. You're living in London. One of the best cities in the world. That's how you sell it, isn't it? Bournemouth, you're, 40 minutes away from Southampton. Brilliant. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just very tough.
It's not. I suppose. I mean, football has changed these days. It's a lovely area of the world. I mean. It's nice, but is it what they want? And it's very. For me, it's a similar situation to the northeast when you have. So you've seen Lallana go back down to the south coast. They seem to isolate themselves in that area. So you have players who've maybe played for Bournemouth, Southampton, Portsmouth, and Brighton, those areas. You have players who play for your Sunderland, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, because they kind of. They set up home in those areas, don't they? Whereas I think when you're a London club, you maybe go, I've got to move out to the suburbs anyway.
Yeah.
And you're more likely to move. But it'd be an interesting one to see. I wouldn't be tipping Bournemouth for promotion next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't tip them to get back up. Ross has said Bournemouth's got nice beaches, so.
It's got a nice beach,
Yeah. Is that what a footballer wants though? They can fly anywhere in the world they want to get to a nice beach. So.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see many in this period of time. Some will go to Dubai, some will go to Marbella, some will go to Bournemouth.
Pogba's dabbing on the Bournemouth beaches.
Yes.
But
well, talking of promotion though, we obviously saw the playoff final this week, didn't we?
Yes, we did. You happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I think I'm happy. It's a bit similar. It's a bit more of the same, isn't it? Fulham and West Brom getting promoted. Swan. Who else? Fulham, West Brom.
Leeds.
Yeah, it's all like we've been here, done that.
Well, Leeds is a long time.
Leeds is a long time, but I mean, have they all been in the Premier League at the same time? Must have all been in the Premier League at the same time in the kind of Fulham got promoted noughties. So yeah, there's probably is some overlap there, but I do. I just like Fulham. It looks like you're wearing a little bit of a Fulham shirt there, actually.
It does a bit. Yeah, it does a bit. So, yeah, I like Fulham. If they've got promoted, I want them to keep Mitrovic, and if they don't keep Mitrovic, sell him to another Premier League team because I'll just love him.
You need to. Can you just verbalise why you love him?
Because in about FIFA, what year are we now? Like FIFA 20, FIFA. It must have been about FIFA 15 or 16. He had just won, like the top. He had basically had what seems like the best career of his life at Anderlecht, where he was playing in purple, which is always a bonus for me. 2, he had just scored the most goals in the under-21s or under-18s or something championship. He had just won the best junior player or young player for FIFA in the world. So when he came out... Real life. Real life. He had one absolutely outstanding season where he had an amazing season at Anderlecht.
Surely, Anderlecht. Oh, no, Anderlecht year was 2013,
he's not 2015. He's not very old.
25. He's 26 in September.
But he may have been really young. It might have been like an under-14s tournament or something.
No, 14-15 season, he scored 28 goals.
For Anderlecht?
For Anderlecht, yeah.
Yeah, so it must have been that season I'm thinking of. So when FIFA came out, he was ridiculously rated, like potential-wise. And obviously dynamic potential didn't exist then. So it was like a Football Manager, when you gave them 200 out of 200, they were going to be the best player in the world. Sort of thing. But that started the love because I found him and I thought, I found this guy called Alexander Mitrovic. You know, WhatsApp didn't exist. You didn't text people and be like, who's the next wonder kid? Who do you know? I'd just gone out. I think I was managing Anderlecht and he was in the youth team or something, or was like on the verges of the senior team when I took them over. And I was like, yeah. And that's made my love for him. And then I saw him play and he scored some absolutely brilliant goals in his time. He's also a nutcase. And
well, yeah, that's the bit I don't get because obviously I don't have that history with him like you do, but I don't like his style of play. As a personality, he is bordering on a little bit
lunatic.
Yeah. he lets it get the better of him. Yeah. So
but I think I'm not like that, so I think that's what I quite like about it. I don't know. It all stems from computer games. The love of Mitrovic.
That's perfectly fine. It's just it was just hard to understand from my perspective. He was like, I have no affinity with him whatsoever. But he'll be a good talisman for him. It's funny because Fulham have got they've loaned some of their players out from their original their previous Premier League season, so they're back now. It's interesting to see what Scotty Parker does in terms of bringing them through. But that final, I mean, it's pretty close. But you've seen the goals. Joe Bryan's free kick goal in extra time was just like, he has a little look and he just smashes it near post. Just like,
I mean, the Brentford goalkeeper's not had a good day.
He's not, because he does like to be a bit far off his line. And Joe Bryan was saying Scotty Parker had said to him, have a go, in situations because the keeper does come off his line quite far. Do you reckon he meant have a go as long as it's not extra time and we need to we're looking for a proper result? Yeah, have a go. If you're 40 yards out in the extra time, just have a go.
Yeah. If you see the time to go over to 102 minutes, then just have a little pop. It might not have even been that late, but have a little pop. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that Fulham have come up. Leeds, I'm happy Leeds are back. West Brom, I could give or take West Brom. Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm not overly fussed about.
I shared it on our Twitter. Did you see Scott Parker's post-match interview?
Yeah, we've dubbed over the is it the streets? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is. Which is better? Do you remember the one with Charlie Austin and Park?
Oh, Charlie Austin Park Life that tops any sort of dubbing over for a footballer interview. That was incredible, that Charlie Austin one.
I don't know, the bit in this one where Scotty Parker's just looking at him and he goes, a little bit of Chinese. It's just like, Sunday night when you're having a little bit of Chinese. It's just... And how can you not like Scotty Parker as well? He
is really nice.
And me, I like seeing it with Josh Onama, a young former Spurs youth player.
You said that.
And there's rumours of Oliver Skipp going on loan to him. I just think, I like, and I do still really want to go to Craven Cottage.
It's on my bucket list, the game at Craven Cottage. But cool. All right. Any other news, Josh?
No, I think we'll go into a little bit of transfer talk quickly.
Yep. Go for it.
Really much happened this week. Bit of Manchester United movement out, wasn't there?
Was
Finally, off the wage bill.
Yes.
The masses and masses of cash. Alexis Sanchez has gone. He's off.
Right.
Imagine.
To his credit, he is the best piano-playing footballer I've ever known. So, I think he's justified the wages. He got that little intro on his piano. Get him out the door. I mean, job done. He's done his job. He came in, ticked the box, play the piano, get out. I mean, yeah, thank God he's gone. I don't even care it's a free.
Absolutely not. It's just the millions he'll save you in his contract.
£3 million a year, I think it figured out. It might have even been more than that. £3 million. Was it?
A month.
£3 million a month, I think. Sorry, yeah. £3 million a month, yeah. Absolutely delighted he's gone. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame it didn't work out because he was a fantastic footballer at Arsenal. And now, was it wrong time, wrong manager, wrong time, wrong place, and he's now going to reignite it in Italy?
I just think he's a little bit broken. I think that guy's played so much football over the kind of the 5 years prior to coming to you, and from a young age. I think it was never going to be a player. I mean, he had an okay season in Serie A. I think he appeared, 30 odd times, but only like 4 or 5 goals. It wasn't like, I think.
Yeah, but what I mean,
it's just on buying him. I don't think he was ever going to be. I think coming into your side now, it's no.
What I mean though is if that move to Man City went off, surely this decline doesn't happen as quickly. He may have declined and he may have been replaced a bit quicker.
Yeah. I suppose absolutely in that sense, because I mean, crudely, you look at Man City and it's hard if you're a forward in that side to not score goals.
Yeah.
Because of the standard they're playing at. I mean, Raheem Sterling's knocking in 30 goals a season. He goes, Pep Guardiola leaves, those goals dry up pretty quickly, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
so, yeah.
It's just, the thing with Sanchez, I think with me, is that he was bought in, obviously, it was a Mourinho signing, or came in, don't know if Mourinho, probably a Woodward signing for Mourinho. But, at Arsenal, they were playing not necessarily attacking football, but it was quite at a speed when they counter-attacked, and it was quite fluid when they got into the final third. He joined Man United, it was complete opposite, and that's what I think, if he had gone, even if he got tired and got into a Man City team and got tired, he still would have had better output. And I think that's what sums it up for me, is it's wrong time, wrong manager, wrong place. It didn't work. So I think Sanchez, if we're signing Sanchez, if Solskjaer, or no, not Solskjaer, if we're playing the brand of football we're playing now, with a front three of like Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, when we first signed Sanchez, I think he fits into it much better. Because it's a continual flow of how he's been playing football with Arsenal.
If you decided next year to bring him back in, you think you'd had to, or is he broke?
No. I think it's beyond Man United ability, and he won't be able to fit back into what we want to do now. It's gone a bit too far. But yeah, I think I'm happy for. I mean, there's lots of Man United fans that are going to hold a grudge against him for the money. It's not his fault how much Ed Woodward decided to pay him. I hope he goes and does well in Italy. I hope he has a good career, and I hope he does really well with Chile while he's still playing. I mean, what is he now? 31? 30? 31?
Well,
I think.
Yeah, I'd say best, yeah.
And I hope he goes there and does well at Inter Milan. And it's another one.
We want incoming for him, it's gone a bit cold, isn't it?
With Sancho. Yeah, well, I think everybody jumped the gun. It'll get done. Because it could get to deadline day and then Woodward will just, like Harry Maguire, Woodward will just say, yeah, we'll pay the money. And that's what's annoying about it. It's like, it's the inevitability of it all.
I feel like Dortmund are a bit of a tougher position than Leicester. I don't know, I feel like, isn't there rumours of that, Sancho goes up to a massive stonking increase in wages come like Monday or something like that? Yeah,
well, I think they've put the deadline, didn't they, on Monday is it the 10th? Is that this Monday? I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, tomorrow. So I think that's why they want to get the deal done. But it still wouldn't surprise me if, Sancho might have even gone to Dortmund. If Sancho really wants to move, Sancho might go to Dortmund and say, well, let's postpone that increase in wages, and we'll only get the increase in wages if the move doesn't come off. Like, if he wants to move, that's what I would do if I wanted to move. I'd say, look, don't pay me more for 3 weeks. Let's just try and get the Man United transfer done. So, let's see. I think as a Man United fan, it's the annoying inevitability of it all that we're just going to pay what Dortmund want anyway. or closer to what Dortmund won. So, but yeah.
Okay. Some other rumours that are going around then, so I'm just going to run through them. Eric Garcia, the Man City centre-back, looks like he's not going to sign a new deal and wants to move to Barcelona, which is a bit of a...
Gerard Piqué-esque.
Yeah, very Gerard Piqué. Does that mean... I think Piqué left Man United after he won the Champions League. Does that mean Man City are going to win the Champions League, maybe?
I think they could, annoyingly, this year.
We'll cover the old Champions League in a bit, but... it doesn't... He'd just kind of been coming in. Maybe this was probably known by Man City. Maybe they were kind of hoping that a bit of run of games, were going to, much like they've done with Foden after lockdown, would have helped smooth things over. But
I mean, they must have known, because that's, if they're going to bring him in, you don't bring in Ake. So if they're getting,
I don't know. I think they always need two. So
okay,
Ake is obviously left-sided, and Laporte. And you've got on the right side, you've got nothing. You've got Stones, Otamendi, and Eric Garcia.
Yeah.
I thought it would be, they always looked at two centre backs. Stones, Laporte, and Ake tick, and then keep probably Eric Garcia, and then sign a big name.
Okay.
And I always thought, Stones out. I don't know where Stones would go. Yeah, because Arsenal and Chelsea you could see him going to, but neither need another. Another David Luiz, do they?
I think John Stones would do very well at Arsenal, to be honest. I think John Stones would fit in well at Arsenal. Just don't play him alongside David Luiz.
I mean, that would be amazing if they both played alongside each other.
As a Spurs fan, you'd love it.
Composed, with ball at their feet, but just take a little bit too long with the ball at their feet. When we saw last night in Champions League, Napoli, Koulibaly, ball at his feet, and thrashed through the back of Messi.
Yeah.
And Koulibaly's a funny one for me. He's 28, 29. It'll be absolute dead money if anyone buys him. And I always think a new player to the league, a foreign player who's never played in Premier League 4, will take a season of adjustment. You wanting to sign a player for Premier League who might take a season to adjust, so 30 years old after 60, 70 million. I'm surprised if he gets a Premier League move, personally.
I think a lot of people, weirdly, I was talking about this before as well, I think a lot of people with Koulibaly just go on, well, he's absolutely incredible on FIFA, so he's going to be brilliant in real life. And I think games against the Champions League is that in Champions League games against the bigger teams, he's always struggled. He's always been a little bit too slow, or a little bit caught on the ball, like yesterday, because he was at fault for both goals, wasn't he, yesterday? Or 2 of the 3, I can't remember what the score was, but he wasn't. He just had a terrible game, and I don't see the appeal.
No, I think it would be too risky. Injury at that stage of his career, say, out for a season, maybe never recover. I'd be amazed if a Premier League side takes it.
No, I don't think a Premier League side will. I think if someone did, I think it'd be PSG. They don't need to worry about resale value, to be honest.
No, and they obviously Thiago Silva is off.
Exactly. Yeah. So PSG might have a go at him. So, but an interesting rumour that I've heard is Lacazette off to Atletico Madrid.
Well, yeah, I was looking at this earlier because what surprised me is the amount of Arsenal players Arsenal have been linked with to buy. I'm like, why do we think Arsenal suddenly got money? But then I was looking at they've probably got 3 players who they can offload and get some decent cash for. I'm only going to remember 2 off the top of my head. So Lacazette, kind of 30 million plus. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been spoken about this week as kind of being out and kind of being able to offload. And who's the other one? Guendouzi, yeah. Those 3. They, if they do things well, probably could get 100 million for those 3.
Yeah.
And I think, that's then you'd be, because I think. It always seemed like a luxury, and it always seemed to pose managers problems. Like, how would you get Aubameyang and Lacazette in the same side? It's like, well, and you've never really seen the best of Lacazette because of it. And so it's kind of square pegs, round holes for me. It's like, let's just focus on Aubameyang. And obviously, you then don't have Aubameyang if he was to miss games. You did have Lacazette. But I think you can make your first 11 stronger by getting rid of Lacazette and signing players they want. I mean, they've been linked with Willian, which, again... Similar, I mean, he's out from a 3-year contract. He's 32 in a week or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It would amaze me. He blows hot and cold. I think he's a good player, and if it's a free, but obviously you're paying wages.
I think the Willian signing's a good signing if it's like a 2-year contract maximum. I wouldn't go 3 years. The thing with do you think the Lacazette? One, do you think Lacazette's actually going to go? Do you think they'll sell him? And two, is it they only sell him if Aubameyang agrees a new deal? Is it you can't have both? You're not going to have.
Yeah, I'd say that Aubameyang signs a new deal, Lacazette out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. What else you got? Any other rumours doing the rounds?
Jamal Lewis to Norwich was the rumour I saw, which I.
Jamal Lewis to Norwich? You mean from Norwich?
Oh, sorry, to Liverpool.
Yeah, back up to Andy Robertson.
Yeah, and out of the players that spoke at Norwich, obviously have some, a number of players who people were looking at, Cantwell, Aarons, Godfrey. Lewis was the step down for me. Don't really get it. He never seemed too great for me. But obviously, I mean, Liverpool do kind of spend within their means. It's a credit to them. They don't often go out like they're looking at, rumour looking at Thiago, but that'd be a kind of a lower price deal. He's, that's about 30 now. But see, sign players from relegated sides often, don't they? So Shaqiri, I think it don't last 3 seasons, is it? Shaqiri, Wijnaldum, Robertson, and then Jamal Lewis. I think they do need a left back. I'm just not sure you're ever going to make him a player that you want him to be.
I think if you're signing him as a backup, he knows he's going to be a backup, and basically he's only going to play in the League Cup and when Andy Robertson is injured, which wasn't very often last year. No. Then I think he's fine.
You know what happens? Alisson got injured opening day of the season. Adrian comes in. Jamal Lewis will. But
true.
It's not Andy Robertson is a vital cog in that system, but because the system works so well, Jamal Lewis will probably still do a job. He'll be allowed to bomb on because there won't be defensive pressure there under. It'll be big games if you have to rely on Jamal Lewis because Robertson's out where it won't work. But I think he'll do a job. He's never going to be taking that first team spot on Robertson.
No, and I think you've got to remember that their backup left back when Andy Robertson wasn't there this year was James Milner. Yes. And I think Jamal Lewis will be a better backup for Andy Robertson at left back than James Milner. So I think that's probably how you look at it as a Liverpool fan. So one more player, Callum Wilson, from me anyway. One more player from me, and then if you've got another one, we'll come back. But Callum Wilson, been linked to potentially Spurs. Newcastle are apparently the front runners over there, and Everton as well. I can't see him going to Everton. I think that's too big of a step, and Richarlison seems to be Ancelotti's favourite for a striking role.
Yeah, and obviously Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well.
Yeah, so I mean Newcastle screaming out for someone that can just put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good move for Newcastle.
Would you take him at Spurs? Do you like Callum Wilson?
Yeah, I'd definitely take him at Spurs.
Yeah.
I think since Harry Kane's been a kind of prominent first team player, we basically have him and Llorente as striking options.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs someone else. And Callum Wilson, he's obviously not a fully rounded player, but he knows where the goal is, and he's obviously had a fleeting England career. I think a move like this would help him. He scores kind of like it doesn't need to be much. If you're a second striker, a backup striker, Kane will be playing the majority of the games, but it's just we're in the Europa League. He'll be playing those matches. It'll be the early rounds of the Cup Week.
Is that what he wants though?
No, but he'll want to every player will say the same. I like Jamal Lewis was saying, it's like, I'm here to, I'm going to show what manager what I can do and get into the side. It won't be what he wants, but he's going to get a pay rise. He's going to be at a top flight club, and it's all about getting yourself into the side, isn't it? Like Harry Kane started with the Europa League. Obviously, Callum Wilson's a lot older, but by scoring goals there, then he can get game time in the league. He's never. I just think 28. What is it? I don't know what he wants. I think he could easily get into the England squad by having a decent season for Spurs next year.
Yes, but sign for Newcastle and score 15 goals for Newcastle. He's probably in the England squad because there's not that many strikers, and be starting striker.
I'm going to backtrack that. He's not getting the England squad, is he?
I think he again sign for Newcastle, be their starting striker, go and score 15 goals in a season. I reckon he'll get a shout for England striker.
Well, we've got opening up England squad wise. We've got, if you're still talking centre forward, Harry Kane obviously.
Yeah.
You've got, well, it depends where you put Rashford. If you put Rashford left,
I think you would. I think how. Oh well, no, you would put Sterling left, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sterling left, Sancho right.
It depends on what Tammy Abraham's season is for me.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, okay. So
It's an interesting one, but yeah, as taking him for Spurs, yes, I would do. He's English, homegrown tick. He probably won't cost that much money. He's had a few knee injuries, which is a bit of a concern, but he offers Premier League experience. I think it's a no-brainer for me. If you get 20 million under, I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Fair enough. The last one I had was David Silva, apparently set to sign for a club tomorrow. Do you know who his club is?
Valencia.
He's a Villarreal man at heart, isn't he?
He is a Villarreal at heart.
No, he's Valencia. It's Lazio, the rumour is.
Oh. Didn't expect that.
Yeah, he loves playing in the light blue.
Yeah. He's going to be like a Gazzetta Mendieta.
Yeah.
Like going into his older years and.
Valencia.
Yeah, Lazio. Middlesbrough. Oh no, that didn't happen.
Middlesbrough, come back for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, that'd be amazing. But
with Colin Wanker as the manager. Cool.
Bloody hell. But anyway, should we move on?
We'll move on. Let's do a bit of quizzing time. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. It's quizzing time.
It is. Quiz. It's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Yeah, they got promotion to the Premier League this week. So I thought let's have a little Fulham Football Club in the Premier League quiz. So it covers the kind of elements of their Premier League history. And I thought I'd just give you a word on their history, Dave. So, how you feeling? What do you know about Fulham? You obviously like wearing Fulham-esque shirts.
Yes.
We've talked Craven Cottage, tick.
I think I've only looked at a few of the questions and I'm panicking. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get on with this one. I'm not too sure.
Well, let's go. First question. Who is Fulham's all-time Premier League top scorer?
Now, I'm immediately drawn to Clint Dempsey.
Okay.
Is that the right answer?
That is the right answer.
Good. That's all right then.
Good player, Clint Dempsey.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit underrated, I'd say.
I think so. I'd agree. Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. Next up, we have Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa is Fulham's record top signing for £22.8 million. But who was he signed from?
I want to say Lille, but I think I'm wrong. I'm going to go Lille, but I do think I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
Oh, God. I'm not going to get that. So
that is Marseille.
Oh, I was close. I was in France. I got it down to the right country.
True. Fulham's top 2 record sales were both sold to Tottenham. Who are those 2 players?
Oh. Clint Dempsey?
He was sold to Tottenham, but he's not one of those 2.
Who is... Oh, my God. Record sales, it means... Oh, Ryan Sessegnon.
Ryan Sessegnon transferred last year, 25 million, I think.
It wasn't like Lewis Holtby, was it? Or did you buy him from Swansea?
I think we bought him from Germany.
Oh, you bought it from Hammarby. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You bought it from Hamburg. Sorry.
This player, one you're missing was what a majestic player.
It's not. Legowinski, but it's not. It's the other one, isn't it? Or is it Sylvain Legowinski?
No, Dave, you're all over a shot, mate. This is Moussa Dembele.
Oh, Moussa Dembele. Oh, pants.
Okay.
Got one.
Fulham have had a large number of USA players appear for them. Can you name at least 3 American players to play for Fulham?
Clint Dempsey. He's my go-to player for all of the questions at the moment.
Yeah, he is.
They had Jonathan Spector at one point.
Ooh, that's not on my list, but I feel like that's a fair shout.
I'm pretty sure he's... Oh, it might not have been Premier League. It might not have been Premier League.
No, he never appeared for Fulham. He had a Charlton loan.
Oh, okay. Okay. They definitely had a defender.
Yes.
Who was Bocanegra?
Carlos Bocanegra. A lovely shout, though.
And they had another. They had another centre back, I think.
you got him. Couple of goalkeepers here.
Brad Friedel?
He's named the only keeper, probably the only American keeper they haven't had.
Well, they haven't had Tim Howard, have they?
Oh, true.
Yeah. Or Casey Keller. There's a lot of American goalkeepers they haven't had, Josh. Casey Keller?
They've had Casey Keller.
When did they have Casey Keller?
Casey Keller, he went Leicester, Rayo. What a career Casey Keller's had. So Portland Timbers, Millwall, Leicester City, Rayo Vallecano, Tottenham, on loan to Southampton, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Fulham, then Seattle Sounders. That is a cracking career.
That would have been a great wiki file because that would have thrown me right off for Fulham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who else was on the list?
Yes.
Sorry, just
So you had Brian McBride.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying. Yeah.
Tim Ream, their current centre back. Other goalkeeper Marcus Hanneman.
Okay.
Eddie Lewis, Eddie Johnson. Now I don't know this one. Emerson Hindman. I don't know him.
No, I don't know him. No.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well done. In 09-10, it saw Fulham reach the Europa League final. Which team did they face? Europa League final, 2009-10.
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. Do you remember who scored in the final, Dave?
No.
Diego Forlan.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Which England centre-back was Fulham's Player of the Year in their unsuccessful 18-19 season?
Oh my God, which England centre-back? Who have they had at centre-back? It must be reasonably good. Oh, okay.
On loan. He was on loan at Fulham, I think.
I was thinking Cahill, but it couldn't have been Cahill then. Not 18-19. He would have been Chelsea.
Yes, he was on loan.
No, I'm going to pass. Nothing's coming to mind.
Callum Chambers.
Ah. He's a right back now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a right back now, isn't he?
Oh, well, yeah, right back, centre back. Which Argentinian striker, when scoring Fulham, celebrated by donning a black mask?
Facundo Sava.
Oh, straight off the noggin.
Yeah.
All right. Which former Crystal Palace player holds the record for most Premier League appearances for Fulham? A clue here, he played for Crystal Palace after Fulham.
Luis Boamorte.
No. This is a Norwegian centre-back.
Oh, Alf-Inge Haaland. No, the really tall guy. Brett Hangeland. That's it. God, got Haaland on the mind.
Which manager guided Fulham to promotion to the Premier League for the first ever time in 2000-2001?
Tigana?
Yes.
Had a cocktail stick in his mouth.
Did he?
Yeah, always had a cocktail stick in his mouth. John something Tigana. What's his middle bit?
Nothing.
Oh, is it just John Tigana? Oh, okay.
When Fulham were finally relegated in the 13-14 season, they had gone through three managers: Martin Jol, the aforementioned Rennie Mullenstein, and who?
Oh. Pards? No, 13-14. No, it wouldn't be Pards.
He did not have a good reputation.
Felix Magath.
Yes.
Yeah. Rub cheese on the centre-back name, who's the really...
England, yeah. Wasn't it up to centre or something, actually?
Yeah, it was something weird.
Fulham legend Luis Boamorte was most recently assistant manager of which Premier League club?
West Ham.
Ooh.
No. Wolves.
Oh, look at you going your Portuguese link. No,
yeah.
Think of a Portuguese manager who's recently been sacked or sacked last season. Was that last season? Yeah.
Oh my God.
We've mentioned this club as a player not wanting to be transferred there.
Bournemouth.
No. But they've got a very good manager in charge. Oh
my God, this is... manager who recently got sacked last season.
Oh yeah, manager was sacked. Portuguese manager sacked 1920 season, replaced by a very good manager now. And we've just mentioned a player in the transfer rumours of not wanting to sign with them because they've got good cover up front.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Frank Lampard lasted the whole of the last season.
Yeah, who's? Oh my God, who's? This is killing me.
For the misery, David, is Everton. Marco Silva, Everton.
God's sake, yeah. Bloody hell.
I don't think you probably got about 60%, 70% now.
Yeah, I'll take that. That.
Straight off the bat, others.
I mean,
Callum Chambers, Everton, Marseille, Moussa Dembele. Yeah.
Yeah, but Facundo Sava, right there, mate.
Facundo Sava was your saving grace there. Straight off, done.
Bosh.
Lovely.
But yeah, good stuff. Right, shall we quick review then? Europa League, Champions League games, some stuff's happened. So
let's go. Obviously, Champions League, the quarterfinals decided. So we have Atalanta versus PSG, Leipzig versus let's go, Barcelona v Bayern Munich, Man City versus Lyon, and obviously the semi-finals will be made up of the split. The first half what I said, the second half what I said. So Atalanta v PSG will play the winners of Leipzig and Madrid. It's quite evenly split nicely across countries. We've got 2 Spanish, 2 German, 2 French, an Italian, and English, which is quite nice. 6 out of them haven't won it. 6 out of the 8 haven't won it, and those 2 who have won it are playing each other. So Barcelona, Bayern Munich. So I mean that only one of the semi-finalists would have won it again, which is quite nice for me seeing you win it. Obviously, last night we saw Chelsea get absolutely spanked, their worst ever 2-legged defeat.
Do you reckon
Lewandowski contributing all 7 goals?
Yeah. Do you think he's not appreciated as well as he should be?
Well, I was going to ask you a question. Ballon d'Or, obviously not have been scrapped this season. Lewandowski or Benzema, who do you reckon would have?
Lewandowski.
Voted for?
I would have voted for Lewandowski. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a part of it, he stayed in Germany.
Yeah, true.
So he gets credit in the European competitions, but I think there was talk of him. He had almost signed for Real Madrid at one point a few years back.
Nearly signed for Blackburn Rovers.
Leagues, it's kind of like it does take the edge off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're the world's greatest in Messi, and you kind of like everybody can see that.
Good backtracking, yeah. Good backtracking there. So, can you imagine if Robert Lewandowski had signed for Blackburn when Venky said they were going to sign him and he got stopped by volcanic ash?
He did get stopped, but I'm not sure we were talking about him in the same. You never know.
Never know.
Standout season, and I would be speaking about him in higher regard because he'd have shown it in the Premier League.
Yeah, done it for Spurs alongside Harry Kane.
Oh. Yeah, best striker in the world, I'd say. Best true number 9 in the world.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd definitely agree. So Man City beat Real Madrid as well. It was pretty convincing.
Yeah, Rafael Varane doing a fantastic impression of David Luiz, maybe. It was just atrocious for both goals, like truly atrocious.
Yeah. Gabriel Jesus. What do you make of him?
I think, given a season and starting, because Aguero is getting on it, I think he would score a lot of goals.
Well,
He's wasteful, but in that current Man City team, he would score a lot of goals.
He should have scored a lot of goals this season. But he's very, very wasteful. Very wasteful.
But I think he has been in and out of the side, and I think he knows he's not the main man. I think he'd relish being the main man now. I think he's got it within him.
I think there's better people out there than Gabriel Jesus to replace Aguero. I don't think if Aguero leaves, I don't think Gabriel Jesus steps up and can do what Aguero's been doing straight away. I think there's better people out there that can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. There are better people out there who can do it, but would Man City, like if say Aguero goes, I don't know how many, you've got 2 seasons left probably. I can't see Jesus staying and then buying a new player. If they bought a new player, Jesus would leave.
Yeah.
Or they'd back Jesus and sign someone beneath him.
I think they will sell Jesus and sign someone to replace him and Aguero, or replace Aguero anyway as a starting striker.
Yeah, and then
sign a backup. Yeah. So.
Right. So who's your tip for the
I think Man City are going to win it, which isn't.
I think, yeah, I think we'll see. It's difficult because we're not going to see. I'd like to have seen a Barcelona, the semi-final, of Barcelona or Bayern versus Man City or Lyon. It's unfortunate. So we're going to see one of Atlanta, PSG, Leipzig, or Atletico Madrid. I mean, the stat came the other day. Atletico Madrid have only ever been knocked out in Champions League knockout rounds to a side that contained Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow.
Now that Juventus are out, they've got a clear path now. So I know Leipzig and Atletico would be an interesting match. I think you'll probably see PSG versus Atletico.
Yeah,
and then I'd see Bayern versus Man City.
Yeah,
it's funny. Both of them are former Pep sides.
Yeah, that's very true. Is Werner still playing in the Champions League for Leipzig? Because he was watching Chelsea in the crowd at the end of the Premier League season, which sort of suggests to me that he's moved.
Do you know what? I've got a feeling he's not.
Yeah, because he would have moved as soon as the transfer window opened, wouldn't he?
Probably to keep his fingers crossed for Leipzig in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Says he might even buy water. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Jermaine Defoe transferred from Spurs to Portsmouth, or one other way around. I can't remember which way around it was, but Spurs won the League Cup or something that year. Pompey won the FA Cup that year. He wasn't at Spurs for win and was cup tied for the FA Cup. Cruel twist of fate. Leipzig go on to win the Champions League, and he's absolutely shafted himself there.
Yeah, true. Something that's interested me about the Champions League, the early knockout rounds, Josh. Like the early preliminaries.
They've already started.
They've started. We don't know who the holder is yet. Absolutely mental.
No, I looked at my flash scores, my app that I use my phone to track the scores, and they had to split out. You click on Champions League, had to split out. Well, this is quarterfinals that it was, and this is the preliminary qualifying rounds. I think, as I said, Bayern have been playing for over a year now. It's amazing.
Incredible. But and then do you want to touch on the Europa League as well, very quickly?
No, let's touch it. So we got the quarterfinals: Inter Milan, Leverkusen. It's all tomorrow night. That game, and Man United, Copenhagen tomorrow night. Shakhtar, Basel, Wolves, Sevilla. That's a very, very much a Europa League lineup. Man United. I suppose in recent years, but the Shakhtar's being in there, Basel's being in there, Leverkusen, Inter Milan. It's a lovely Sevilla, obviously, like the kings of Europa League. It's a very Wolves have done well. Wolves obviously got through against Olympiacos. Lost Johnny now for he's done his ACL, so they have like 0 left backs now. Vinagre's got to step in, so they probably need to sign someone there. But
I think Wolves might win it.
I think Johnny will be a miss. It's a very solid left back, adds that balance. I just got a feeling they're going to creak as it goes on. It's exciting to watch. It's going to kind of World Cup knockout. It's just a single match, isn't it? Knockout match, which adds so much excitement because it's just like it's all or nothing. It's just. I think
Wolves will beat Sevilla even without Johnny at left back. Even though they're struggling a bit at left back, I think Wolves will beat Sevilla. I think we'll beat Copenhagen, and then I think Man United v Wolves in the semi. I think is going to be.
Is that the matchup? Is it?
As far as I'm aware, we can't meet in the final. We're in the semi-final. It's an all-English semi-final if we get there. I think it's going to be very interesting because I think our front three could rip to shreds their defence, and I think their front three could rip to shreds our defence. And I think it's just going to be which goalkeeper has the better performance. Let's hope for Romero. But
Romero's been playing, is he?
Well, I don't know. Romero played against LASK, or LASK, or whatever they're called, yesterday, 2 days ago. But De Gea played in the Cup semi-final against Chelsea, and everyone thought Romero was going to play. I think Solskjaer will pick Romero for the remainder of the Europa League games.
After being scorned by De Gea in the FA Cup semi-final, I think you might see faith in Romero from now on.
Yeah, I think so. But it'll be very interesting. I mean, Inter Milan of playing Leverkusen, which is probably the standout side.
Man United final, Alexis Sanchez, Romelu Lukaku, Ashley Young.
Yeah.
That would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Lukaku would score a brace against us, definitely. He'd bully Harry
I
Maguire.
think that's where I think I'd like to see Inter Milan versus United, and I'd like to see Man City versus PSG.
I'd like to see Inter Milan. No, actually, let's be honest. I'd like to see Shakhtar Donetsk versus Man United because my love of Shakhtar. Yeah, but if I'm going for a proper competitive game, if I took my Shakhtar hat off, I'd go Man United. Inter Milan would be my favoured. But if Man United aren't in it, I think Wolves v Leverkusen would be quite a good final.
Yeah.
And then Champions League, Man City Bayern. I think. Is that that's not possible, is it? Man City, Leipzig would be interesting, just because they're quite a good attacking team. I don't want Atletico Madrid to get there because they're too defensive in big games.
Yeah, they would strangle that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got a quick question from Ross. Would you like to see this happen again with the way they've had to end the Champions League? Would you like to see it? So you do the round of 16, the first knockout round, let's say. The two, yeah, and then let all the seasons finish, and then do just a block of European football. I'd love that.
I'm not against it.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I like it, but
Yeah.
I think you'll be tied with more games. I suppose, like having more revenue. I don't know. It'll be unlikely to see it.
Yeah, very true. I know what you mean. So, cool. And obviously, Man United beat LASK. We don't need to cover it. It was pretty easy. I mean, Jesse Lingard scored. So, although, have you seen their goal?
Garlo didn't score, unfortunately.
He didn't. Have you seen LAS's goal?
I did not know.
Oh, go just look at the Man United highlights. All they do is show all three goals, and it's an absolute worldie. It's a beauty. Like, he hits it on the half. It bounces up. He hits it on the half volley and just curls it with the inside of his foot around Romero. It's a lovely goal. Absolutely lovely goal.
When you beat them, do you reckon someone said "Sweet dreams, my LASK" because you beat them, and it's Rachel Stevens' song?
Yeah.
Rachel Stevens. That's a name you don't hear much of.
No, she was in my top 5 once at university. Yeah.
Is she?
She was
yeah, I can kind of see the deal.
Yeah.
Top 5 now?
Do I have a top 5? We can cover that in the podcast when we've got nothing else to talk about, Josh.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I probably do have a top. I mean, I'd have to think about it.
Oh yeah.
I've got. There's a couple in there that I'd probably be like, yeah, they're in, but I haven't seen them for 20 years.
How many of my Kardashians?
None. How many of yours are Kardashians?
All of them. Every single Kardashian.
That's your top 5?
Yeah.
All the sisters and the mum. And then the brother. That's 5, I think.
Done.
Nice. Excellent. Oh, easy top 5. There you go. That's Josh's top 5. Right, let's move on then to... I got a wiki file. Here comes a wiki file. I got a wiki file for you. Hey, it's on the screen, Joshua.
Okay, so well, I'm not good at Greek, but I'm presuming that's where we start. 1991, we start with Postiras Kesarianis.
You nailed the first bit.
Yeah, Postiras Kesarianis. I think, but obviously, Ethnikos Asteras. I'm very Mexican. Ethnikos Asteras. See something I like in him, and sign up as you play, and he makes an appearance. Performs.
Good words, Josh.
He plays for them for a season. 32 appearances, 6 goals, and then Haniliakos has a few years of them. 84. He scores some goals now. 84 appearances, 26 goals, and then one of the big two. The big two in.
Yeah. Olympiacos, Panathinaikos.
Yeah,
or AEK. AEK, one of the big 3.
Yeah, Olympiacos are the main
yeah.
ones there. 7 years there, 190 appearances, 64 goals. Moves to Bolton Wanderers. Sam Allardyce's Bolton Wanderers. 137 appearances, 20 goals, and then Hull City call. Maybe a Phil Brown. Maybe he wants to telling off in the middle of the pitch. Not sure who the manager will be at that time. 2 appearances, 0 goals. And then goes back to, is that Limassol? I'm not sure AEL, but goes back down to the Med. 19 appearances, 3 goals. Culminating in 464 appearances, 119 goals, mainly for Olympiacos and Bolton. We have Stelios Giannakopoulos.
That is who we have. Well done, Josh. Yeah, nice. Relatively easy one for you. He popped into my head because I was having a chat with some friends here in Singapore about bald footballers. And someone went, Who was that winger at Bolton? And I was like, oh, it's and then got his name completely wrong. Giannopoulos, I think I called him.
Inverted winger normally, wasn't he? He was a quite short. Technically quite good. I did have that fondness with kind of. I could have got Jorka up on the back of his shirt, which obviously. Would they have played here at the same time? Maybe. Yeah.
I think they did. Yeah.
Nice player.
So yeah, he wasn't too bad. I mean, I was surprised by. You looked at those stats now for an inside sort of winger forward as he was back then. The goal scoring stats at Bolton were pretty rubbish compared to now for an inside winger.
Overall, his goals went 2, 7, 9, 0, 2. So 7 and 9's not bad in terms of Premier League output.
Yeah, but I imagine Big Sam wasn't really playing to his strengths.
No, I imagine he wasn't unleashing his potential.
But yeah, there you go.
He hasn't even got a personal section on his.
No, he hasn't. I know. I didn't take that into account when picking my wiki.
Goodness me.
He's got nothing interesting in his personal life. So.
Oh, actually, there was some well publicised but short-lived rumours in 2015 that Stelios was leading a consortium to take over the financially troubled Bolton Wanderers, but they did not materialise.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been good.
Do you reckon we would have got Big Sam back?
Big Sam's been out of management for a while now, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Bolton would have taken him. And I think he'd go back to Bolton to try and save him.
Do you reckon we'd see Sam back in management?
There's always a part of me that's like someone will panic. Someone will panic and someone will be near relegation and go, I've got my Rolodex. Because it'll be a chairman who's really old who won't have WhatsApp or whatever.
It's been a while, isn't it? It's been a while.
Yeah. Is it sign of the times? Is it? That's it. That's Big Sam.
Yeah.
And Big Sam.
65 years old. What's Roy? Roy's got to be.
Roy's ancient, isn't he? He's like 100.
Yeah, 7 years older.
Yeah.
So 72.
So he could. Yeah, he could. If Crystal Palace start the season struggling, and Roy Hodgson decides to call it a day, I could see Crystal Palace calling Big Sam.
Kenny Dalglish is 3 years younger than Roy Hodgson.
Wow. That is a surprise. That is incredible. Bloody hell. But yeah. Anyway, that's about it, Josh, I think.
That is about it.
Yeah. Any other business from you, mate? Anything you'd like to just add in on the end?
No, I think that was a good podcast. Obviously Wikifiles tick, a bit of quizzing, a bit of transfers. Hopefully some more transfer movement over the coming weeks. So
I think by the time you're back on the air, I think there'll be some transfer news to discuss.
And obviously, by the time back on the air, we'll have Champions League and Europa League winners, won't we?
We will indeed. We'll have Man United and Man City crowned the champions of Europe, respectively.
Well, what did we have last year? We had Chelsea and Liverpool winning Europe last year, so yeah, could it be all England again, couldn't it?
Could be all England again. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you want to go and check out our back catalogue, you can find it over on SoundCloud, Spotify and on YouTube. Just search for Football Talk, scroll down till you see our little green symbol, and you'll find us there. If you want to find us on Twitter and keep up to date with the polls that I keep saying we're going to put out and then always forget, it's because there's not much Premier League football happening. There's no Premier League football happening. But if you want to catch us on Twitter, it's at Football Talk. But remember,
there's no A in football.
There's no A in football. And we thank you so much for watching. Get involved in the chat on Twitter. Thank you for watching the video. But for now, we're out. We're off next week. We're back in 2 weeks' time with a special guest. So thank you very much. For now, we're out. Cheers.